I don't think that you are ready for what I'm going to show you right now. The working hours going back to the 13th century. Are you ready for this, right? If you are looking for the original article, it is on MIT's website, and this is the author and the title of the article. Let's get started. Before we start, here is a little context. Today we are working around 2,080 hours. That is 40 hours a week, 52 weeks per year. However, you minus the holidays and the leaves, whatever we are taking, depending on the country. So in Europe, for example, it works out around 1,920 hours with the 4 weeks holiday. Now let's take a journey back to the 13th century where you would have to work 1,620 hours, 135 days per year, and with a 12-hour shift. Similarly to the 14th century, still 12 hours shift per day, but they worked only 120 days per year. In the Middle Ages, the working hours per day was reduced 9.5, but they worked 2/3 of the year, so that came out 2,309 hours. Then we jump into the 15th to the 17th centuries, where they worked 1,980. So this is what we are working currently today, and that is calculated 180 days per year and 11 hours per day. Are you ready for what's coming next? Industrial Revolution. That kicked our ass. Now this is not a joke. This is not a joke. Ready? It doubled up. Look at that. 3,105 to 3,600 hours per year. Or they worked, that was the low estimate, 45 weeks per year. And the high one that they basically worked every single day of the year. And the working hours was 69 hours per week. Then 1850, it's very similar. Same 70 hours and 45. Then it's reduced. So in 1987, the average worker, once again, the same as we are working today, and that is replicated throughout. So in 1988, 1,850 hours. So the factory workers worked less than what we are working today. Somewhat works out similarly. Now, what would be really interesting for me as an organizational psychologist to see is the productivity, is the motivation, is the well-being, is the happiness, is the engagement. Obviously not during the Victorian era, because we know the working conditions, right? The workhouses and all that. So this data is coming from there. But what about these guys? We always say that they were really productive. They built countries, right? They were engaged apparently because they just produced and produced. So what happened? We are working similar number of hours. What are we building today? That is my question. That we are so busy.